Raise your hand if you want to hear my working theory about why Trump is choosing the specific blue cities that he's going after and who's next. So if you kind of like just look at it topically, it looks like, oh, he's just choosing like big blue cities, right? Because it's national fanfare and like it gets a lot of eyeballs. And that's true, but two things can be true at once. But if you look closer, he is targeting the blue cities where the governors are. So basically, the people who would challenge him or the next Republican candidate in 2028. I'm going to make my case. He's hitting their cities, messing with their funding, and targeting their image. And he says that it's about crime, right? But if you look at the top 10 cities in the United States where unalivings, 1 through 10, none of the cities that he's targeted they're not even on the list. 9 out of those 10 cities are in Trump country. For example, Jackson, Mississippi has 77.8 unalivings per 100,000 people, whereas Chicago has 17.5, Portland, Oregon has 11, and Los Angeles has 7.6. Literally not even in the top 10. Okay, so then what else is it about? Now let's zoom in, right? So Los Angeles, he sends the National Guard in, supposedly for anti-ICE protests. Why? Governor Newsom, high national polling, suing Trump over climate, and of course, building a national brand for himself. Mess with Los Angeles, make him look chaotic, weak, and out of control. Now let's go to Chicago. 500 troops, some from Texas. Trump freezes $2.1 million in transit funds. He's over here talking about jailing Pritzker and the mayor. And Pritzker is a fundraising machine. I mean, beast level. So a 2028 absolute frontrunner. And crime in that city is actually down. But perception is the point here. And we have Portland, Oregon, a freaking wild card. Not tied to a 2028 candidate, perfect as a chaos lab. Smaller little protests spun into violent anarchy. 600 guard troops sent in, blocked by the courts, fast appeals filed. Portland tests the narrative control, right? Can crises be manufactured? And then, of course, just claim the need for troops. So here's where he's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So the Insurrection Act of 1807 allows the president to deploy the military inside U.S. cities to suppress rebellion and unrest, suspending the Posse Comitatus Act, which formally forbids armed forces from acting as police on U.S. territory. And you have to remember that once Trump federalizes the National Guard, they become military assets, not state assets. And under Title 10, they will answer to the president, not the governor. Troops can do things like enforce curfews, protect federal property, disperse crowds, and make limited arrests. But they cannot act as a replacement police force, perform warrantless searches, or shut down the courts. The goal, send troops in, is to support civilian authorities, not to replace them. Stay with me, I'm going to tie it together. To compare that to martial law, which would mean that the military fully takes over government functions, the courts, policing, and completely override constitutional protections. Kind of like White House is doing right now. It's the nuclear option, extremely rare and very risky. Insurrection Act is like the light version of martial law. If you've made it this far in the video, don't forget to drop the secret words, "This is political theater," in the comment section. Like, repost, and follow for updates. And guys, completely seriously, if you enjoy my content, you really should go follow me over on YTube, because you know how TikTok's under new ownership and people's accounts are going missing. So anyway, see you over there. So just one more point on the Insurrection Act. If the president invokes the Insurrection Act, he has to issue a public proclamation ordering protesters to disperse. If the unrest continues, he can federalize the National Guard and deploy active duty military. Now don't forget that once federalized, the Guard, they're military assets under presidential control. They operate under rules that allow them to support law enforcement, not replace it. Here's the 2028 chessboard. By keeping Democratic governors bogged down in federal lawsuits and National Guard deployments, Trump can basically tie up his main competitors before the next campaign even starts. And if you're wondering who's next, I'm guessing Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because Josh Shapiro, you'll look at the DOJ voter roll suits that are happening, and guard threats, and of course Detroit, Michigan, because of Gretchen Whitmer. Sanctuary city disputes, crime wave allegations. Pattern: hit the rising stars, manufacture chaos, control the narrative, all while keeping them distracted, defending their own cities. So governance as guerrilla warfare. And of course, there's a new court date in Portland on the 18th, Chicago on the 23rd. Those TROs fail, I'm guessing you can expect to see 1,000 to 5,000 troops deployed in all of those cities, of course under the Insurrection Act. And though appeals could take this to the 9th and the 7th court, appeals take time. It's not like we think Congress is going to step in to try to limit the law. So of course, timing is on Trump's side here. This isn't martial law. It's not even a military coup. It's a legal yet politically weaponized tool to basically guarantee next Republican candidate, if we even have elections, has a leg up. And I wanted to go through this because I think understanding the mechanics kind of strips the fear back. Clarity for me, always has been the antidote to panic. You guys let me know what you think. Who do you think is next, and do you think that's why he's targeting these cities?